بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Beloved brothers and sisters, honorable Huffaz, ulama, hujjaj, mothers and fathers, our viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. كيف حالكم؟ Alhamdulillah. My beloved brothers and sisters, Alhamdulillah, still in the month of Rabiul Awwal, and very much reflecting on our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And after Friday's very thought-provoking talk by Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman about how one can take up the sunnah of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. In fact, I said to Dr. Suleiman afterwards, I said, what impresses me the most is how the love for Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam can inspire life-changing, transformative action. We ask Allah to inspire all of us and accept from all of us. My beloved brothers and sisters, last week, Sunday, we spoke about the birth of the Prophet ﷺ. And just very briefly this evening, I want to reflect on the amazing moment that our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam entered Medina. So we know from last week's Sunday night's talk that Monday is a auspicious day historically in the life of the Prophet ﷺ. He was born on a Monday, he received nubuwwah. Can you name some of the items, inshallah, from last week? Someone sent me a voice note, said, Sheikh, I remember these things occurred on a Monday. The Prophet was born on a Monday, received nubuwwah on a Monday, left Makkah on a Monday, arrived in Medina on a Monday, fasted on a Monday because of being born on a Monday, and passed away on a Monday. And the one moment I want to reflect on is the Prophet ﷺ entering Medina. Now, when you go into the seerah, our beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam entered, or the first locality that he entered was Quba. And that's why we have today Masjid Quba, the first masjid in Islam. And when the Prophet ﷺ, when the news reached the people that the Prophet ﷺ is on his way, it reached them that he had left Makkah, and of course the Quraysh were after him, as you know from the seerah, and they had to go to Jabal Thur. If you go to Makkah, inshallah, you are able to look at Jabal Thur. It's quite a huge mountain. We don't really recommend people visiting. But you'll be able to sort of imagine how the Prophet ﷺ with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu sought refuge in Jabal Thur. And then our beloved Rasul ﷺ, when the news reached the people of Medina that he's on his way, they were very excited. Because Medina at that stage was known as Yathrib, which never had a good meaning. And with the coming of the Prophet ﷺ, it got the name Medina. And they added an adjective, Al-Madina, Al-Munawwara. What does Al-Munawwara mean? Al-Madina literally means the city. Al-Madina is the city in Arabic. But we have an adjective when we talk about the beloved city of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We call it Al-Madinatul Munawwara, meaning a city of light. Munawwar means it is enlightened. There's a lot of light, nur in that place. So Nabi Muhammad ﷺ was on his way, and every day the people were in fact on shifts to see when is the beloved Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to arrive. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There's many beautiful narrations about this. And when he was spotted, people screamed out of joy that he arrived. And that is where that well-known nasheed comes from. طَلَعَ الْبَدْرُ عَلَيْنَا. You know that nasheed? MashaAllah. Okay. طَلَعَ الْبَدْرُ عَلَيْنَا. Which means that the full moon has risen over us. And Al-Badr means the full moon. There's a great beauty in this word in describing the moon. Al-Qamar is the word for the moon. But Badr is a full moon. And it's given this word or this name in Arabic because it's so beautiful. And seeing the Prophet ﷺ arrive in Medina made them so happy. And so they described him as Al-Badr. Tala al-Badru alayna. That the full moon has now risen over us. And there's a lot that we can talk about, but because of time, I just want us to appreciate the excitement in Medina at that stage. But I'm wanting to share one hadith with everyone this evening, inshallah, just one hadith. When Nabi Muhammad ﷺ arrived, everyone was talking about it in the city of Medina. That Nabi Muhammad ﷺ arrived, he's here, he's here. There was excitement, the children were happy. You know, the entire city felt different. And there's one Sahabi, Abdullah bin Salam radiallahu anhu. He also finally wanted to meet the Prophet ﷺ. And he said as he was approaching the place where the Prophet ﷺ was, the people were all saying that the Prophet ﷺ is here, Rasulullah is here, he is here. There was excitement. He mentions it in his narration. And then he went to the Prophet ﷺ and he narrates that the first words that he heard uttered by the Prophet ﷺ were so moving for him. And I thought I want to share that with us, inshallah, this evening, a reminder to all of us. Because we know on Tuesday, it is Heritage Day. And everyone celebrates, well, you know, in our country, they reflect on their heritage. Where do we come from? Our backgrounds, our forefathers, and so forth. And for any Muslim, we celebrate the heritage of coming from Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. First and foremost, we celebrate that. And Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in this short little speech, he told the believers in Medina what is the pathway to Jannah. Now, this is so important, my dear brother and sister. If the ruler of a place finally arrives, you know, many have written books about the leadership of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Think about this. The ruler arrives in Medina. He is now in charge. There is no Quraysh. And sometimes when a ruler, someone comes in, you know, a new teacher comes into a school, a new principal, they say new brooms sweep clean. Different things occur. But Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he mentioned the pathway to Jannah. He told the people, do these 4 things and you'll enter Jannah. Which gives us a sense of the qualities of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I'll just mention these inshallah to us. He said to the people sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Abdullah bin Salam radiallahu anhu narrates, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, and he says the following 4 things will allow you to enter Jannah. Afshu salam, that greet one another. And what is so beautiful when we reflect on this under the banner of heritage? What characterizes our community, our ummah, globally? Our greeting. You go anywhere in the world, any community in the city, any Muslim community in the country, and the minute you hear Assalamu alaikum, something amazing happens in the heart of that believer. You feel at home. You feel connected. And our beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the first thing you must do, afshu salam. Greet one another. Don't lose greeting. So as a reminder of not only a religious obligation, but our heritage is the issue of greeting. That, you know, the elderly, mashallah, may Allah bless them abundantly and grant them Jannatul Firdaus. They were very particular on greeting. You know, if an elderly person went to the masjid, when they had their kids with them, they'd make, and I was raised like this, they'd make you greet every person. You're walking past, greet, greet, greet. Now we are faced a scenario where not even maybe some elderly greet. Generations have changed and evolved. So a reminder of the importance of this, of greeting. And then our beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, وَأَطْعِمُ الطَّعَامِ, and feed the poor. Give food, feed. And this resonates so much when I think of what our beloved brother Dr. Suleiman is doing. That, you know, he took up this mission of feed where people need to be fed. And then our beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in the third thing, وَصِلُ الْأَرْحَامِ, and strengthen the ties in your families. Be connected to your families. And the last one, وَصَلُّوا بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّاسُ نِيَامٌ. This is beautiful. And perform your salah at night, and people are sleeping. Now this is a gem from the Prophet ﷺ. He didn't say just وَصَلُّوا and perform your salah. He directs you and me to perform the salah of the night. وَالنَّاسُ نِيَامٌ, and he mentions, and the others will be sleeping. Perform that salah when the rest of the ummah or the community is sleeping. Make that effort. Which salah is this? Tahajjud. This is the secret of the Prophet ﷺ. His secret to us. وَصَلُّوا بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّاسُ نِيَامٌ, perform that salah at night and people are sleeping. And then he says, تَدْخُلُ الْجَنَّةَ بِسَلَامٍ, that you will enter Jannah with peace. Allahu Akbar. 4 simple things. We can call them simple. But what a methodology. The first, greet. So inshallah, the first thing that I want every single one of us to work really hard at doing is greeting. Greet one another. Don't dodge each other. And teach, if you have kids, teach your children to greet. Even if you are entering the masjid with younger kids, greet. And if you are in a shopping center, don't dodge, you know. And there's a bad quality sometimes in our community. We stand and we stare because we want that person to greet us first. As we stand and we wait. It's a strange phenomenon. You can observe people will stand. Ek is ouer, ek is die, ek is die. That person must greet first. No. There's more reward for the one who initiates. And this is the heritage of our ummah and of the pathways to Jannah. And secondly, don't be stingy with your money. I loved one point that Dr. Suleiman raised in his talk, and he said, we must change our thinking and not only give those things that are broken or this food is expired. That thinking needs to change. And the third thing, establish family relations, strengthen your family relations. And the fourth, perform that salah at night when everyone else is asleep, meaning you've forsaken of your sleep. And our beloved Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that we will enter Jannah. So my beloved brothers and sisters, for many it is a long weekend. Alhamdulillah, I think some were clever, they took Monday off. So they have a long weekend, and the kids are also on break from school. So we make dua that, you know, as the country celebrates the heritage, we are very proud to be of the Ummah of Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And let us keep those characteristics that he taught the early Sahaba, that he taught those living in Medina. This is a Muslim. They greet, they are friendly, they help one another, you know, they are charitable, and they are worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make us of the Ummah of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And on the day of Qiyamah, may we be reunited with Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and may Allah grant us his shafa'ah, his intercession. Wa sallallahu wa sallam alayhi wa alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.